I believe that there is an internal loneliness that is a reflection of society. I don't think it's just internal to me, but rather that when I go to the plaza or we are in a group, I always feel that there is a loneliness in the human being. I got into the world of the arts exclusively because I always lived around and in an environment of artists from a very young age. My father was very close to Rosa Bru, to Santos Chavez, of all that group that was at the time of the Bohemia. The moment in which I said, I'm going to study art, was when I was in the Swiss school. It was a school for foreign people, and a teacher called Urban Blank arrived. He was a great artist. He was a great sculptor, and he sculpted some stone bears in school, and I was hallucinating with stone bears, and I always said, someday maybe I can make a bear. And I got into his classes a lot. Later, another art teacher called Schneider came and he gave me a little elephant and said, Javiera, you have to continue. The change was my turn. I just entered the university that year. Therefore, we were in the midst of the dictatorship, and I entered the University of Santiago. So it was inevitable that art, and we had a political position as well. And I think that engraving there was fundamental because we worked and communicated through engravings that we made at the University of Santiago. I had Guillermo Fromer and Christian Benavente as a teacher. They taught me everything that existed in engraving at that time, which was lithography and woodcut. I never saw metal. Later over the years, I found Taller 99. I met Nemesio Antunes. He invited me to work there. There, for the first time, Rafael Munita introduced me to metal. I actually married metal to this day. My work has always been for the first human being, then I began to add objects that the human being occupies on a daily basis. When I saw Nemesio Antunes' beds and his last engraving called Beds to Heaven, he said that one spent a lot of time in bed, and I found that secrets happened there, that it was interesting to capture. I live on top of the bed. You do your daily life on the bed, and there's always a chair next to the bed where you leave your clothes and you are alone. And one day I looked at her and I said, this is me, the spectator of many situations in life, alone and with a fairly firm structure. It does not fall off, supports weight, withstands run over. She supports being moved, and she is still a chair. And I am still Javiera. It was a poem that I once heard. It's about a dad who takes a son to gallop and gallop and gallop, and the child gets sick, and how he describes the noise he makes when he gallops and when the boy gallops. See those black shadows, says Dad. He comes looking for me. Death follows me. The shadows carry me. And when I was a girl, I was so impressed with that poem that today the shadows always pass in my engravings. They are those black planes that stab, that desire to want to arrive because the child hallucinated with his fever and ran with the father. He was passing through the forest and the boy was scared, and when he got to town, the boy had died. For me, the fundamental thing is to find myself, find your own inner world, and I still don't forgive myself for many things. I have not forgiven. That is why I say I lack time, because I think it is true that time does not forgive what you do not do with it. And as you say, perhaps depth is lacking because I have not found it. I'm still looking for it. That is why I like the magic of engraving and researching the alchemy of engraving, because I want to find what I have not found, and I have not found it in myself, and I have not found it in the engraving technique either, neither in the work nor in my images. Maybe I have found it in other artists. I imagine it in an exciting piece. I said, now I can stay in this quiet chair, sitting and contemplating nature.